Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video is all about the new WW program. So, if you enjoyed this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and let's just go ahead and get started talking about the new program. So, today is November 8th, and WW has released their new personal points plan. So they have gotten rid of the blue, purple, and green plans, and now everybody has their own individualized plan, personalized to them, what foods they prefer to eat more of, and yeah, it's just meant to be more tailored to you personally. So I know a lot of people are really nervous about this. I know, first of all, the app has had a lot of issues already this morning. It's been crashing. Right now I can't even scan foods to track my meal. So yeah, there have been issues all day, and I figured that would happen because everybody's on it trying to update, trying to get all the info on it, and so it is kind of frustrating, but I also kind of expected this. But in a few days, I'm sure everything will be normal, everything will be working smoothly, and until then, we just are kind of learning and getting used to the new program. So I'm just gonna kind of explain a lot of different things about the new program in this video. I've been doing a lot of reading on just WW's site about all of their answers to a lot of questions about the new program. So Smart Points are gone now. They're now called Personal Points. And when you update the app, you'll be prompted to take an assessment, and this will help to determine what your 0-point foods are going to be and kind of help determine other values of different foods you eat. So I did mine right away. You start answering questions about like veggies and fruit and food choices, and then it asks you some questions about activities. So then after it asks you the questions about your activity, it gives you your new daily points and your new list of 0-point foods. So I'll actually post my assessment because you can actually go back and redo it. After you've already submitted it and you get your 0-point foods and your points for your dailies and weeklies, if you're unhappy with it or you think maybe you answered a question incorrectly, you want to answer these questions as honestly as possible because it really will help to create this plan for you. So like I said, the first question it asks you is whether or not you have type 1 or 2 diabetes. You'll answer that, and that already will make some changes to your plan. So for somebody who answers yes to that question, you will be given different 0-point foods. It's going to keep you away from more foods that are higher in carbs that will spike blood sugar. They've just tailored the list more to what would be more beneficial for somebody who has a diet that is affected because of diabetes. So that's kind of cool that they've now taken that into consideration with your 0-point foods and the amount of points you get for the day. So that's kind of how the diabetes plays into it. Then the next question will ask you how often you have veggies. I answered most days because I have a serving of vegetables every single day. I make sure to do that. That's just something I prioritize. It also will ask you how often do you eat fruit, and I also answered most days because I do have fruit every single day. I have at least an apple every day. And Adam also the same. He has his banana, his cuties. So that was the same for both of us. Then the next question it asks you is, it gives you a list of foods and it says, which of these do you like to eat the most? So the first time I actually took this, I only answered refined grains because I thought you only had to pick one. I didn't read that it said select all that apply. So when I went back the second time to do it, I actually adjusted my answer. Then I went with full fat dairy, salty snacks, and refined grains because those are all 3 things that I incorporate into my diet. Then the next question asks you which of these protein-rich foods you eat the most. So I knew this was going to be picking what my 0-point foods were. So I chose eggs, non-fat yogurt, and cottage cheese. I don't eat cottage cheese really, but the non-fat yogurt, chicken and turkey breast, and beans, peas, and lentils. So those were the 4 that I chose. The first time I did the survey, I answered only the refined grains like I had mentioned. And so because of it then, it gave me 5 0-point foods to choose from. So the second time around that I actually did it to what I'm sticking with, I chose those 3 things. So then it only gave me 4 0-point foods, which makes sense. So the next question is for you to choose 2 out of the options they give you of what you eat the most out of the options they give you. So they have potatoes and sweet potatoes, oatmeal, whole wheat pasta, brown rice and quinoa, avocado, and then corn and popcorn. So for me, I chose potatoes and sweet potatoes and oatmeal because I like to use oats for my baked oats in the morning. So that will go down to 0 points, which is just crazy. And then potatoes and sweet potatoes is also a huge thing. So that makes sense that those are going to become my 0-point foods, and my dailies I figured were already going to go down as I was filling this out. So then it takes a second, it processes it, gives you your results, and it gives you your new dailies. So mine ended up being 18 is my new budget. And then it went ahead and it gives you all your 0-point foods, which again, I knew what they were gonna be as I was filling it out. So my new 0-point foods are eggs, fruit, beans, peas, and lentils, oatmeal, potatoes and sweet potatoes, chicken and turkey breast, vegetables, non-starchy, and then non-fat yogurt and cottage cheese. So this is the part that's gonna be different for everyone else. You're gonna have different 0-point foods, and that's okay. It's really what works best for you. So at first, I honestly picked avocado, and then I went back and I was like, I don't ever eat avocado. As much as maybe it'd be nice if avocado was 0 points for the few times I had it, but I have baked oats way more frequently. I'd rather have oats be a 0-point food. So I went back and adjusted that. You really just want to answer honestly based on what you currently eat and what works best for you. Talking about the different points, before we had smart points, and those were determined by calories, saturated fat, protein, and sugar. Now we have personal points, and with the personal points, they've incorporated a few different things that actually change them up a little bit, and I think it's so much better. And the thing that's cool about this program is I feel like they actually listened to what a lot of the criticism was about the WW program that was before, because there were so many comments about it being too easy to incorporate processed foods, or foods that were high in saturated fat, or foods that just weren't good, or it was hard to incorporate foods that were high in unsaturated fat, like avocado and nuts. And so this is a way that they've finally incorporated it into their algorithm so that we can have those higher point foods. They're gonna be lower now, or maybe even 0 points for you. And then some of those foods that maybe should have been higher point are now higher point, which is good. It's just gonna help us make healthier choices, but you can still incorporate everything. So with the personal point budget now, it's the same as what it was before. You get your dailies, you get your weeklies, and then from your dailies, if you don't use up to 4, they roll over to the next day. So that hasn't changed at all. But some changes with some of the items, and like I said, with the points. So before with smart points, some of these things might have been lower in point, and you might see them go up. So that's like some fatty meats, like bacon. How I just discovered that bacon was only a point for a piece. Now it already went up to 2 points for a piece on some, and like it'll be different now because they're taking the saturated fats into consideration, whereas before that really wasn't something that they took into consideration when determining the points. So that also goes for cheese, sugary cereal, potato chips, and oat milk. Then on the other hand, there are certain things that the points are gonna go down in. So that's gonna be things that are higher in unsaturated fats, because those are better fats for you than the saturated fats. So that's gonna be lean meats, oatmeal, avocado, pretzels, and almond milk. Those are gonna be some things that are gonna go either to 0, like for me, oats are now 0, or just lower in points. So avocado used to be, I think, 4 or 5 for the serving, and now it's 2 for me. So it's gonna be easier for me to incorporate avocado, but harder to incorporate bacon, which isn't a bad thing, but I can still have what I want. So another thing they're also taking into consideration is fiber, and this is huge because I try to find snacks that are high in fiber or meals that are high in fiber because they do fill me up so much more, and I truly notice a difference. So fiber is something that's so important with, like I said, helping you stay fuller longer. It also helps to regulate blood sugar, it helps to regulate cholesterol and digestion. So fiber is something that really should be prioritized, and it's good that now they're incorporating that with points, and that'll just be something with their algorithm that it will adjust with the points. It's nothing you have to do. So what's crazy and what's new about this plan is that your daily points are just a baseline now. So before you had your daily points and they would just go down, you couldn't add to them unless you had rollovers. You could add to your weeklies with your fit points or whatever, but now you can earn points in your dailies. So what you have to do to earn these points. There are 3 ways you can earn points on the new plan. So the first way is to drink water. And this is actually, I'm kind of happy about this because I've been trying to track my water anyway, and I notice how much better I feel when I drink water, but it's also so hard for me some days to stay on track with my water. So with this, you can get up to 1 point a day, which doesn't seem like much, but it does add up. 1 point a day added to your dailies once you hit 60 ounces of water that you drink. So you track your water, once you get to 60 ounces, you get a point, and you'll see it just pop up in your daily points for the day. So I have 18 to start with, I would go up to 19. And with the water, it's drinking any water. They also mentioned that you can add like fruit to water to flavor it, and that will still count towards your water goal, as well as sugar-free flavored seltzers or unsweetened sparkling water. Those also count towards your water goal. But the whole point with that and why it's able to add a point back to your dailies is because this is in hopes of replacing maybe if you were going to have a soda or something. It's just a better option to stay hydrated, to have your water, and so you get rewarded for it, which I think is really good with encouraging some healthy habits. So I'm excited about that. And then the second way that you can earn a point to your daily points is eating a cup or a serving of non-starchy vegetables. So just to give you guys a few ideas, that's artichokes, asparagus, broccoli, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, coleslaw mix, any frozen stir-fry vegetables. There's onions, pepper, mushroom, lettuce, pico de gallo, pumpkin, sauerkraut, snow peas, spinach, tomatoes, and zucchini, which I love zucchini. So now I can earn points for having a cup of zucchini, which I do that easily in a day. So that's kind of exciting. For me, it's gonna definitely hold me more accountable than previously because I've never tracked 0-point foods. But the cool thing is you can just enter a plus sign of a serving and it automatically adds the points. You don't technically have to track the exact food. So I kind of like that because like when I have a bowl, I know that maybe I have like a half cup zucchini, half cup pepper. That would be one serving. I could just do the +1 instead of having to track both vegetables, but you can do it whatever works for you. Either way works. So when you do enter a recipe, it will take the non-starchy vegetables into consideration. And if you add up to a total of a cup of vegetables in that recipe, it'll automatically add the point to your dailies. So that's pretty nice as well. So the third way that you can add points, and these don't go into your dailies, they actually will go into your weeklies. So what you can do is activity points. And before Smart Points and Fit Points were like two separate things, what they're trying to do is bring these together. So the activity points go into the personal points. So I can go ahead and track, say I did 60 minutes of rollerblading, I would go to my activity tab, track the rollerblading, and then you'll see that it pops up 7 points additional. So those 7 points will go straight into my weeklies, and that is to make up for the workout I did. So for me personally, I don't track my workouts when I lift weights 5 to 6 times a week, when I rollerblade, which has become a lot less, but I still don't usually track it. If I do track it, it's gonna be giving me points into my weeklies that technically they'll be there, I don't have to use them. You can't turn that off if you're tracking the workout. So either don't track the workout if you don't wanna see those points, which is fine. Honestly, with me, it actually equals out because I do a weightlifting workout that says it's 6 points in there, and which I don't know how accurate that is at all either for what I'm doing personally for my workout. Weightlifting is very broad. When I enter it in there, I could be burning way more calories, but when I enter it, it says 6. And after the gym, I always have a barbell that I don't track, and that's 6 points or 5 points. Now they're 6 points, which we'll get to that. But anyway, that kind of covers the workout I just did, and I feel like that is a way to just like justify it. If I don't track the workout and I have the protein bar, that's pretty much the same thing. Because if I was tracking the protein bar, it would just take away those points from my weeklies, if that makes sense. So the activity, again, it'll be up to you. If you want to track your activity to get some points back, you can earn points into your weeklies by doing that. So with the 0-point food list, if you're unhappy with it at first, which like I mentioned, I had originally done it and I chose avocado, and then I thought about it and I don't really eat avocado that much, so I changed it. So you can actually go ahead into your settings, you can go into the food settings, and you can choose to retake the assessment. And it won't be the whole thing with the activity questions, but it'll be all of the food preference questions that you answered the first time around. And so that way you can change your list based on maybe more accurate answers, maybe you're more honest the second time around. Again, I wasn't fully paying attention, I was just trying to skip through it because I was excited and I just wanted to see what I got. So taking it a second time through actually really helped me to be more accurate, and it gave me a more accurate point total. Now they do recommend that whatever you choose, you stick with for at least a week before you try to make any adjustments, because this is a new plan. It takes time to get used to and adjust to. So don't rush to quickly change it if you freak out and see something isn't like what you might think will work for you, because it might work even better than you realize. So really this whole thing is just being open-minded, being willing to work with the change, because really these choices are going to help you live a healthier lifestyle. I'm actually really impressed with the new algorithm. I know I haven't tested it out yet, so of course I want to see how this actually works, but it makes me happy that they're taking saturated fats and unsaturated fats into consideration so that we're able to have these higher fat foods that are still healthy for us and they're still extremely satisfying. And those are the types of foods I've been using my weeklies for in general anyway, so I'm just gonna see how the new program works with it. But there's really nothing to freak out too much about. I know a lot of people, I saw so many people on the WW Connect app freaking out that they were gonna cancel their membership, and they're so upset about this. And I get it, it's scary and it's change, but this is what a lot of people have been asking for, to kind of get away from a lot of the processed foods and just help find even more of a balance, because still you can be so satisfied, you can eat all these healthy foods and still maintain the lifestyle you want without obsessing over it or totally restricting from foods that you enjoy. So Adam and I went into the kitchen and we just started scanning a bunch of things. We both filled out our survey extremely similar. I think we probably answered all the same questions actually for the food preferences, because he eats what I cook and we pretty much eat a lot of the same things. So that made it easy for us. So we went around scanning a few different things and we were surprised by what we found, because it is cool that some things went down, but some things also did go up. So it stinks, but like our favorite reduced guilt mac and cheese, the full container used to be 8 smart points on the blue plan, which I'm so used to saying on the blue plan, so I have to get used to that. But they used to be 8 points on the blue plan, and now it's just 10 personal points for us. So that's gonna be a little bit harder to incorporate, but at the same time, I put a serving of vegetables on, so I get those points back. So I'd get 1 point back for that. And maybe then the protein that I choose to use on it, the meat or whatever, is gonna be fewer points anyway. So it all kind of balances out. It really is kind of similar to the old plan, just with a few better changes, honestly. So another thing we scanned though that went down was like bonza pasta that's made out of chickpeas, because it is so much higher in fiber and it doesn't have as much saturated fat, and it's just, compared to regular pasta, it really is a cleaner option. Because of it, now it is lower in points. It's 4 points for the serving, whereas sometimes it was 5 or 6. So certain things went down. Pitos are made from peas. Those went down to 1 point for the package, where they used to be either 2 or 3. Bada beans that we like, those are made from broad beans. Those went down by a point. Bear balls went up by a point, so that kind of sucks, but it's really not that big of a deal. Again, a lot of the differences are like a point, but for like bacon and stuff and avocado, it's probably going to be enough of a difference that maybe I'll make a different choice when I'm making meals. So overall, I don't really think it'll change much with what I'm doing, but I think it'll just help to hold me accountable. Adam and I said we both feel like we're like starting new again from the beginning. Like it felt like when we first started WW and we got all excited about scanning everything and just learning the program, like it's just a refresh for us, and we're pretty excited about it actually. One thing I do want to mention though is that I haven't lost in the past like 5 months, because I have pretty much plateaued once I started incorporating heavy weightlifting at the gym, and I eat all my weeklies, I eat all my dailies, and so it just works out that I've kind of hit maintenance, although I don't know if I want to stay here, because I still want to continue building muscle, but at some point I might want to lean out even more to just hit my goal, because my goal is 10 pounds less than what I'm at right now, and I really have wanted to hit it. But again, there's no reason why I even specifically chose that, other than it was the number that was on my license. So that's something that actually changed when I updated the app. I went to the settings, and if you click food settings, there's an option that says current focus. With that, you can do weight loss and healthy habits, or just healthy habits, which is technically the maintenance mode on the app. So I decided to switch to that, and that ended up actually giving me 6 more daily points, which is actually pretty much what I've been eating currently. So to maintain, it really hasn't changed anything. I just didn't know that was an option in the app. So now that I switched over to healthy habits, like I said, I have 24 dailies, so that hasn't even changed, but my weeklies have gone down to 28, whereas they used to be, I think, 44. So I lost a lot of weeklies, but I gained more 0-point foods, and I'm gonna gain more through activity points and eating my non-starchy vegetables. So that was just something I thought was interesting, that I could switch over to the maintenance mode in there, and that I think that would just work better for me personally. It is the same with this program, where if you continue to lose weight, your personal point budget will go down, just like it used to with Smart Points. There's certain things that also have changed with different foods, like dried fruit. So if there's added sugar in dried fruit, it's gonna go up in points, because added sugar isn't a good thing. But if it's natural sugar, it might even go down in points. So like, I really have been enjoying those Rise bars, because they're made with like cashews and honey, and they're sweetened by honey, which is a natural sugar. So those actually went down in points, because it's not some added sugar to them. They're a very clean bar. And so I thought that was kind of cool, that the focus on added sugar versus sugar that's not added has been adjusted a little bit more. So dried fruit without added sugar might even be a lower point than what it used to be. Same thing with nuts, because nuts are higher in unsaturated fats. Those actually went down in points. So overall, I just wanted to make this video to kind of put your guys' mind at ease a little bit if you're a little nervous about these changes, and know that it's gonna be okay. This really is similar to their past program, but they have done so much research to back this new plan, and I'm really excited for it, because I really think that these are some good changes. So don't get too nervous. We're all in this together. My content's not gonna change. I'm still gonna provide the grocery hauls and the what I eat in a days with healthy options, and this will just be more personalized to us. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and leave any questions or comments below about the new plan. I want to hear what you guys think about it as well. So, or if you've heard anything else about the changes. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.